Hey guys, Mr. Modern Survival. Weekly weigh-in time. Going to be doing a new series of videos. Try to put up one every week on top of some of the gun shooting survival style videos. What this is going to be is Lord willing, this is going to be a news headline that I'm going to take once a week. Something that either excites me, something that really makes me happy, or something that really makes me mad, and something that really troubles me, which is what we have this week. And so weekly weigh-in time, Jerome Ersland case. Have you been looking at this? Anybody seen this? If you've not, Google it. Look it up on YouTube. There's videos about it. There's a lot of news headlines, a lot of news coverage. There should be more news coverage. If there were more news coverage, I think there would be a lot more outrage with regard to this incident. If you know what's going on in this incident, you'll find out when you look and see some of the videos. Mr. Ersland was a United States military man, retired, working in a pharmacy and lawfully carrying a concealed weapon. As far as I know, I've not heard anything to the contrary. If you have, leave me a comment and let me know. But what we have here, we have two armed robbers come in to the pharmacy, and they're pointing a gun in the man's face. They're pointing a gun at his co-worker's face. The other armed robber, as far as we know, was not armed, but we'll get to some of that in just a second, because you don't know who's armed and who's not. Remember, if they're carrying a concealed weapon, then it's concealed for a reason. And so Antoine Parker is the name of the guy, the suspect who actually has the weapon. He's brandishing the weapon, pointing in the faces, obviously threatening them. I'm not sure exactly what he's saying, but you can see it on the video. Mr. Ersland pulls out his weapon and he fires one shot to the head of Antoine Parker, which puts him on the ground. Now, what he shot him with was a Kel-Tec P380 and 380 ACP or 380 auto caliber. And if you know anything about firearms, and most of you guys do, you know that a 380 is on the weaker end of a handgun caliber. It's on the weaker end. I'm not throwing off on the 380. It's a great caliber. It's a punchy little round, but it is on the weaker end. When I carry concealed, I like to carry either a 40 caliber or a 9mm, or on a very rare occasion a 38 snub-nosed revolver when I feel like carrying a revolver. I just like having that little bit extra punch on that round. So what happens is Mr. Ersland then chases the other suspect out the door. The unarmed suspect is not fired on. He does not fire on the unarmed suspect. But he comes back in, at which point Mr. Ersland says that because obviously it's a 380, you can live if that gunshot is right. And actually, the medical experts that testified in court said that Mr. Antoine Parker would have lived, could have lived, might have lived from that head wound with that 380 caliber round. And so Mr. Ersland comes back in and says, now he's the only one there, he says that Antoine Parker is trying to retrieve his weapon again. He's reaching for his weapon. Mr. Ersland is not going to let him get a hold of his weapon again, so he goes over, he fires 5 more rounds into the midsection of Antoine Parker. All right, did he go too far? Did he maybe make a bad decision? Maybe. I don't know. I wasn't there. Did he maybe, in the fog of battle, did he get a little carried away in defending himself? I don't know. That's a judgment call. What I do know is that he did not commit first-degree murder. And that's what he's been charged with. Not only that, that's what he's been convicted of. The state of Oklahoma found him guilty on May 27th of this year because for first-degree murder. I'm stuttering. I'm so mad at this. This makes me so angry. They found him guilty on May 27, 2011 of first-degree murder with regard to the shooting of Antoine Parker in 2009 in the pharmacy. This is a direct quote from the prosecutor in that case. He said, quote, "Mr. Ersland crossed the line." No, Mr. Prosecutor, the punk, the criminal who took it upon himself to put a firearm in an innocent bystander's face and threaten his life, he took it too far. Mr. Ersland responded with deadly force. Now, did he make a bad decision? Maybe. Did he commit first-degree murder? Abso-stinking-lutely not. He did not. That's my weigh-in. I feel very strongly about this, so I'll warn you, my opinions are going to be very strong opinions. The state of Oklahoma, you've lost your frapping mind. You're absolutely out of your mind to convict this man of first-degree murder. I've heard he's got a couple of politicians there in the state of Oklahoma that have made it a point to try to get this sentence overturned. I hope that they don't just commute the sentence, because if they just commute the sentence, then that conviction is going to stay on its record. It's going to be a stain on this man's life because he took it upon himself to defend himself and his co-workers. This man, not only is he retired from the military and gave a portion of his life in service to the United States people, to the United States military and the American people, but now after he's retired, he's working a job, he's paying taxes, he's trying to be a good citizen. He's taken it upon himself to defend himself and those around him from a threat of imminent bodily harm or death. And he responds with deadly force, maybe makes a bad decision in the aftermath, but you don't know, you weren't there, and neither was I. But this man is not guilty of first-degree murder. What is he guilty of? He's guilty of trying to defend himself and those around him. I live in North Carolina, and we've got a good set of laws in North Carolina, a decent set of laws, but I shudder to think that there are prosecutors in my state that are as backwoods, ignorant, and stupid as the prosecutors are in this case. I urge you to go look this up. Check out the headlines. Look at it closely if you've not looked at it before, and do everything you can. Sign petitions, whatever it takes. Get on the horn with the NRA, Gunners of America, whatever it takes to support this guy and get this sentence not commuted but overturned. I think this man is owed a big whopping apology from the state of Oklahoma and from the victim's family. I say victim. He's not a victim. He's a criminal from the criminal's family. The family of the deceased were elated at the end of this trial that an innocent man was going to prison for first-degree murder. That is absolutely absurd. No, ma'am. Your son, your nephew, whoever you were that was on the news crying and thanking God that Mr. Ersland was going to prison, you've lost your mind. Your son took a gun into a pharmacy and stuck it in an innocent man's face. He deserved exactly what he got. That's my weigh-in. It's strong, yeah, but you know what? It's my opinion.